It's been called Guru, it's been called Jiva, it's been called Deva, it's been called Mantri, it's been called Devjaya, it's been called Angirasuni, it's been called Brihaspati. My dear people, we are going to talk today about a very important planet, Jupiter. A planet known for expansion, a planet known to be a very benefic planet, a planet which is being called a preserver, known to expand our wisdom. Jupiter has been known to expand our happiness. I promised that I will get to you well-researched content. I will bring the content directly from the ancient texts, whether it is Parashar Hora Shastra, from Hora Ratnam, Varahamira texts, and so on and so forth. I'm not going to talk to you about my own experiences or my own analysis of ancient texts. I'm going to expand on the analysis of the ancient text, but the skeleton or the foundation is going to be ancient text. Let me read out to you one such ancient text from the Horaratnam. It says, Banisht Rashi Adhipayatu Dushto Vajini Rikshitaksh Yorashi, which means a planet which is sitting in its own sign, or when the Lord of the house is sitting in his own sign, Jupiter's aspect is as strong as that. You can understand from this particular verse from the Horaratnam how much power, how much importance, how much of beneficity has been given to Jupiter's aspect. It is as good as the Lord of the house, the Lord of the sign sitting in its own sign. So Jupiter is known to bring luck. Jupiter is known to bring abundance. Jupiter has been called Sattvic, one which brings goodness. Jupiter has been called as Guru Shubho Prokto, which means Guru or Brihaspati brings happiness to you, brings abundance to you. So what is Guru? Guru is the largest planet of the solar system. In fact, it is larger than any other planets. In fact, all the planets put together, including Saturn, don't equal Jupiter in size. It is said that almost 50,000 Earths can equal the size of one Jupiter. And many Saturns equal the size of one Jupiter. If there is any body which is larger than Jupiter, it is the Sun. And that's why probably Sun has been called the soul. But Jupiter has been called the one which gives soul the wisdom, the spirituality, the knowledge. That's how important Jupiter is. So a planet which brings you happiness and it brings you wisdom. What more do you want? It is being told that Jupiter, wherever it sits, whether with its fifth aspect or its ninth aspect, it will preserve the sanctity and the beneficity and the good results of the house. Let me give a few examples of comparing Jupiter with the other planets. Let's take the example of, say, Venus sitting in Scorpio. What is Venus? Venus denotes passion. It also denotes materialism. It denotes all our senses, whom we want to pleasure, whom we want to satisfy. What is Scorpio? Scorpio is the 8th house or the 8th sign. It also denotes all those things which are hidden, which are underground, which are unspoken, which have not been revealed, including our external sexual organs, which are hidden, and including sexuality. So when the Venus goes and sits in the sign of Scorpio, you understand what we mean. We are combining, including sexuality. Let's see what are the different aspects of different planets or different bodies on this particular combination of Venus in Scorpio versus Jupiter. So let me read it out for you. Let's take the first one. Sun aspecting Venus in the sign of Scorpio. Stri hetu dukharth yuvati nimitad vinashtadhan sokyam kuch bhavane ravi drushto janayati shukro niprathayam, which is from the Horaratnam. Which means that when the Sun aspects Venus in the sign of Scorpio, it causes grief, it causes loss of wealth, it causes unhappiness. It also causes the person, it may give some good results, that you may find favor from the government, from the ruler, However, unhappiness, loss of wealth is bound to follow. Let's look at another aspect where moon is aspecting Venus in the sign of Scorpio. Udhat mati chachapal kamatur marya yuvati patararam janyati bhugarpatya rajnikar vikshit purusham, which means that should moon aspect Venus in Scorpio, the person will be very, very intelligent. The person will be unstable, he will be lustful, he will keep company of different kinds of women, but he may marry a gentlewoman, but may be childless. Let's look at another combination of Venus and Scorpio with an aspect of another planet. Mars aspecting Venus in its own sign of Scorpio. Let's read that. Dhan Saukya Mand Rahit Deen Partark Malina Cheshtam Janayati Rudhir Kshetre Rudhiren Nirikshit Shura. Which means that when Mars aspects Venus in the sign of Scorpio, it will deprive one of wealth, it will deprive one of happiness, it will deprive one of happiness and honor. The person will be argumentative, the person will indulge in dirty acts, and the person will be deemed as dishonorable. This position will bring dishonor to the native. This position will take away his happiness, will take away his wealth. It says that Mercury, when it aspects Venus and Scorpio, it produces a fool. It makes somebody of unstable mind. It makes somebody who is immodest, who is inimical, and even cruel. Now let's compare that with the aspect of Jupiter. Let me bring that to you. Native with Jupiter aspecting Venus and Scorpio. So this position of Jupiter, the position of Jupiter aspecting Venus and Scorpio makes somebody just, makes him somebody with liberal mind, makes him somebody who is happy, who is wealthy, who has an attractive physique, who is tall, and one who has many children. Jupiter remains in a sign for about a year, which means for a year when Jupiter is in a sign, the results will be coming to you for almost a year. Jupiter also denotes teachers, it denotes gurus. Jupiter is the significator of children, so it gives you children. Jupiter aspect from the 5th house, whatever maleficity it may have, will protect it and protect your children. Jupiter, because it denotes gurus, it denotes teachers. A person who has the strong presence of Jupiter or Jupiter in the Lagna or Jupiter as a Lagna Lord will always be, or his life will be about sharing wisdom, acquiring wisdom, getting as much of education or as much as knowledge as possible, and be going out of the way to share the wisdom for others. Jupiter also denotes higher learning or spirituality because it also owns the 12th sign of the 12th house, which is Pisces. So Jupiter, a person with Jupiterian qualities or with strong Jupiter in his horoscope will always be looking at higher learning or self-development or development of the soul. Materialism, material benefits or material achievement for such an individual are not so important. So in today's time, many times a debilitated Jupiter sometimes gives better results than an exalted Jupiter or a strong Jupiter in its own sign. However, the aspect of Jupiter definitely gives you better results. So any planet may give you malefic results. Basis its position, it may give you good and bad results. But Jupiter with aspects will always give good results only. It will give abundance to the results of the sign or the house which it aspects. And Jupiter is an all-round giver, is an all-rounder in giving, in preserving, in benefiting and keeping. Jupiter aspecting 6th house will give you good health. Jupiter aspecting the 8th house will preserve you or protect you from accidents, from untoward incidents. Jupiter aspecting the 12th house will protect you from challenges of hospitalization. Jupiter aspecting the 10th house will protect your career from sudden developments, will give you growth and expand that. Jupiter aspecting the 4th house will give you better material benefits. Jupiter may not give material benefits with his position in a house. but Jupiter's aspect on the 4th house will ensure that it expands the results of the 4th house, and automatically it will expand material benefits in giving property, in giving cars, in giving vehicles, and so forth. So my dear people, with this we come to the end of this very important video about Jupiter and its importance in our horoscope and what it does for us. Please like this video, please subscribe to this channel, and please write to me at my email ID in the links given below for any clarification or personal consultation. And till we meet again, thank you so much.